This is a story that should make every single one of us furious. It's a story about the absolute worst of humanity preying on the very best. Doreen Daniel was an 81-year-old widow, a mother, a grandmother, a woman who had spent her life caring for others. After her beloved husband of 60 years passed away, she found herself adrift in a sea of loneliness. It was in this state of profound vulnerability that the sharks saw their opportunity. They didn't just steal her money, they stole her trust, they stole her dignity, they stole the final years of her life. The pain inflicted upon her and her family is a stain on our society. Her daughter Karen and her granddaughter Jasmine are left with grief and burning anger. Karen described her mother's decline with heartbreaking clarity.
She was never the same again. She literally gave up on life.
Doreen lost £27,000, her life savings gone. But the money became secondary to the emotional devastation. Doreen was a proud woman. The humiliation never healed. The stress ate away at her health and her will to live. It is an absolute disgrace that this is happening in modern Britain. We have a duty to protect the elderly. They built the world we live in. Her family's fight for justice is a testament to their love. This isn't distant. It's happening right here, right now in our communities. It's time we all woke up and started fighting back. So what exactly is this vile crime? Let's call it what it is. Romance fraud is psychological warfare waged against the lonely. It's not some clever, sophisticated financial heist. It is a base, predatory con that exploits the most fundamental human need for connection and love. Scammers create fake profiles on social media platforms or dating sites, often using stolen photographs of attractive, trustworthy-looking individuals. They then spend weeks, sometimes months, grooming their victims. They bombard them with attention, flattery, declarations of love. This builds a powerful, completely fabricated emotional bond that feels intensely real. These criminals are masters of manipulation. They understand human psychology. They will mirror their victims' interests, share fake sob stories to elicit sympathy, and create a fantasy world where the victim is the center of their universe. They become a constant presence, the first message in the morning and the last one at night. This around-the-clock communication, often called love bombing, is designed to isolate the victim from family and friends. Once ironclad trust is established, requests for money begin. They never start big. Each payment emboldens the criminal and the demands escalate. The cruelty is the double betrayal. It was a business transaction. For Doreen Daniel, the nightmare began in the quiet aftermath of unimaginable loss. After 6 decades of marriage, the silence in her West Sussex home must have been deafening. Her husband was gone. This is the precise moment of vulnerability that these predators scan for. Doreen turned to the internet for a distraction, a connection to the outside world. She started playing online Scrabble. It was there that the first wolf appeared, disguised as a friend. He presented himself as charming and articulate. He was interested in her. He was interested in her life. He was interested in her grief. He listened. For someone consumed by loneliness, this attention was like water in a desert. He flattered her and made her feel seen. The scammer, operating from thousands of miles away, began to fill the void. He slowly became her confidant. This was a patient, calculated infiltration. The first scammer on the Scrabble app conned her out of a few £1,000s. Victims' details are often sold or passed to other gangs. She was now marked as a prime target. Soon another, more sophisticated predator arrived on Facebook. This second scammer was even more convincing. The man who called himself Alvin was a master of his despicable trade. He didn't rush. He invested time in his victim, understanding that the deeper the emotional connection, the bigger the eventual payout. For months, he and Doreen exchanged messages. He sent her poems, he shared stories about his life, all of it stolen, all of it lies. He created a detailed backstory for himself, that of a successful doctor and property investor who was temporarily facing a few frustrating financial hurdles. He was charming, intelligent, and most importantly, he appeared to be completely devoted to her. He was selling her a dream, and she, in her loneliness, was a desperate buyer. The requests for money when they started were framed not as pleas for help, but as opportunities. He told her he needed money to pay customs fees to release materials for a big property deal in Dubai. He spun a complex tale, complete with fake documents and official-looking emails. He assured her that once the deal was complete, he would pay her back tenfold. He made her feel like a partner, an essential part of his business. The manipulation was relentless. He was an expert at emotional blackmail. If she hesitated, he would feign hurt. He was patient, persistent, and utterly without a conscience, slowly draining her bank account. The total amount he stole was a staggering £27,000. This wasn't spare change, it was Doreen's life savings. The house of cards, so carefully constructed by the scammer, came crashing down in a local supermarket. Doreen was shopping with her granddaughter Jasmine. She went to pay. Her bank card was declined. A small, embarrassing moment that triggered a devastating chain of revelations. Jasmine helped her grandmother call the bank, thinking it was a technical glitch. The reality dawned. The bank said the account was empty, all of it, gone. The family was stunned. Doreen, proud. Doreen, private. She'd kept the online relationship secret. They started digging, bank statements, phone records, computer. There it was, a digital trail of transactions and messages exposing the full fraud. Confronting her was delicate and painful. At first she refused to believe it. She defended the man she thought loved her. She'd invested so much emotionally. When the truth sank in, Doreen began to break. The love she cherished had been a script to steal her money.
She was embarrassed and ashamed. She didn't want to tell anyone.
Her secret became public humiliation. Shock turned to fury at the criminals and desperate sadness for their mother and grandmother. End with the family photo. The ultimate price Doreen Daniel paid was not the £27,000. It was her life. The stress, the shame, the heartbreak were a poison that seeped into her soul. The constant anxiety led to a series of strokes. Her health deteriorated rapidly. These criminals, hiding behind their screens, delivered a fatal blow. While the bank eventually refunded £9,000, it was a hollow victory. It could never repay the emotional cost, her health, her trust, her will to live. It couldn't give her family back the time they lost with her. The lingering pain for her daughter Karen and granddaughter Jasmine is immense. It's not fair. They've got away with it. They're living their life. My nan's not. They took her life. How can we as a society stand by and let this happen? So what can we do? We have to get smarter. We have to be more vigilant. Talk to your elderly relatives. Ask them who they're speaking to online. Explain the dangers. Someone professing love very quickly. A sob story that requires money. A refusal to ever video call. Never ever send money to someone you have only met online. It's that simple. If you suspect a loved one is being scammed, you must intervene. Report it to the police and action fraud immediately. Contact their bank. Doreen's family wants her story to be a wake-up call. Let's not let these faceless cowards destroy any more lives. Let's look after our own and fight back against this disgusting, cowardly crime.